Immersion, atmosphere, chaos. They say that a camel is a horse made by committee, and in a world of Modern Warfare 2's, 2042's, and more reboots and rehashes than the top 40 music charts, this has never rang more true. Every game publisher is so hell-bent on making every game appeal to everyone so that they can get the last penny possible, that every game comes out soulless and as shallow as a Femidon from Wish. And when the gaming space is like this, we need something. We need change. We need Hell Let Loose, a game that is unapologetically its own thing and has always stayed true to the developer's vision, a game that isn't like every single other shooter out at the moment, and it doesn't want to be. And in this video, I aim to tell you exactly why you need to be playing Hell Let Loose. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'll just briefly go over what Hell Let Loose is. It's a World War II shooter, a tactical shooter, an experience that is bordering on Milsim, a game that's based on teamwork and immersion and a sprinkling of community that, when all put together, leads to some extremely fun and satisfying moments. Hell Let Loose doesn't hold your hand. This game is extremely hard and there is a very steep learning curve. However, there is mechanics built into this game that allow this to be part of the charm, that allow it to be part of the reason that Hell Let Loose is such a good game for anyone of any ability to play. Unlike other games where you can capture a point and then you can spawn on that point, or you can spawn on your teammates, Hell Let Loose puts all of the agency with the players, and as such there is a very direct chain of command. You have a commander in every match, and then that commander can speak to all of the officers in all of the squads underneath it. Then those officers have to relay what the commander wants back to their own squad mates, and this means that there's a very real chain of command, and this is part of the reason that makes Hell Let Loose so goddamn immersive. Now, sometimes, yes, this does come across as a little bit nerdy, but I promise you, if you put that behind you and let yourself get fully immersed into what Hell Let Loose has to offer, you will not regret it, and it is honestly one of the best experiences you can have in modern day gaming. Now, as a new player, this actually works perfectly, because when you get into your first game of Hell Let Loose, you will be overwhelmed, you will be scared, and you won't have a fucking clue what you're meant to be doing. And this is brilliant, because as you join a squad, you will have an officer, and they will want to be telling you what to do, and you will be very receptive to those orders, because like I just said, you don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing or where you're supposed to be going. This works brilliantly, because it means as you get better at the game and as you learn the mechanics and as you learn the different classes and the roles that everyone plays, you will be able to climb up those ranks. And by that, I don't mean a little number next to your name, I mean literally climb up the ranks. Once you get more comfortable and once you get more confident in your roles, you can then become like an officer yourself, or maybe even go into command. And these things are only possible when you have those hours under your belt. Anyone who chooses to play an officer, 9 times out of 10 is going to have like 500, 600, 1,000 hours played in the game, and they'll be able to show you exactly what you need to do and exactly how they want you to play the game. This leads to some amazing moments when you're sneaking behind enemy lines with your squad mates and your officer tells you to be quiet, as one wrong move can get all of your heads clapped off by the machine gunner that you've been tracking for the last 10 minutes. And then 5 minutes after that, when everyone's dead apart from you, and you lay prone and you crawl and keep advancing on the point until you can just get a glimpse of the enemy garrison, and then you take headshot after headshot, pinning people down and then creating a gap in the enemy's defenses that allows your whole team to push forward. All of this made that little bit sweeter when the American guy that you met 10 minutes ago that's now your officer whispers a little "good job" in your ear. And I'm not going to be ashamed to say that some random affirmation from a stranger halfway across the world does actually feel pretty good in the context of this game. Everything about Hell Let Loose really puts you in the action, and even though you're not getting like crazy pop-ups when you get a kill, it's not telling you you've got a double kill, or if you're on a 10 kill streak, or you've just got 10 headshots in a row, there's no kill feed. There's actually no reason for you to want to get kills other than to help your team win. And when you've been playing in a game for like an hour and a half that's toing and froing, and you finally break those enemy defenses and push on to the next sector, there is no better feeling, and it makes you actually want to win. I've been playing Call of Duty Duty and Battlefield for years, and look, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love those gameplay experiences. However, in recent years, in Call of Duty particularly, because what I enjoy about Call of Duty is going on mad kill streaks, the game has been designed for like 15 years so that you can go on these long kill streaks, and that seems to be the aim of every game. I do not care if I lose 5 matches in a row in COD if my KD is positive. Now look, maybe that says more about me than it does Call of Duty, but I feel like a lot of people feel the same. However, when it comes to Hell Let Loose, I care about winning that game, because everything that leads to a victory in Hell Let Loose has all come from you and your team and your commander and the players in general. There are no spawns on the map. If you die and no one has built a spawn for you, you have to spawn like 20-minute walk away right at the beginning of the map. This means that as you progress and your squad leader builds an outpost or he builds a garrison that allows you to respawn further and deeper into the battlefield and sometimes behind enemy lines, then you have a real sense of achievement if you have helped to build that yourself. Similarly, if you're with a squad and then you manage to go right the way back behind the enemy point and you plant that garrison and then all of a sudden your whole team can spawn there is no better feeling than watching your whole team spawn and charge the enemy from behind, completely flanking them and taking them unawares, while simultaneously destroying their garrisons and their outposts and making them have to spawn back at their HQ and then running them straight back to their HQ and winning the game, and hearing that music play. Oh my god, the dopamine rush is insane. On top of this, there's really nothing like Hell Let Loose that you can play on console. I myself have been playing on PC for a few years now, but I only got a PC because I wanted to experience these more tactical shooters, these more intense sort of simulation style games, and as it stands at the moment, there really isn't anything like this in the console space, other than Hell Let Loose. And this is so welcome and so needed, because I feel like there's a whole sector of players, mainly older players, I'll be the first to admit that, you know, this might be classed as a bit of a shooter for like boomers, but at the end of the day, if you're fed up of all the B-hopping and the slide cancelling and the 360 no-scopes, and you can't keep up with these kids anymore because you're nearing 30, you're working 8 hours a day and you got 3 kids, well then this is the perfect game for you. You can sit down for a couple of hours in the evening and then really feel like the time that you put into it is worth it. In Call of Duty, if I have a bad game, I might have, say, like 5 bad games in a row, and at that point I'm getting pissed off because I feel like I've wasted an hour of my life, whereas in Hell Let Loose, even if you're not playing the best, there is always something you can do. You can go support and drop supplies for your squad leader to build a garrison. You can spawn back at the HQ base and bring the logistics truck up to the front so that then your teammates can build some nodes, which will give you extra manpower and allow your commander to drop an airhead behind enemy lines, and then your whole team can spawn behind enemy lines, get down a garrison, and then really turn the sway of the battle. There are so many things that you can do in this game, and it's all led by the sandbox and the players within it. Everything in this game is made that much better by the fact that you know that behind every decision, behind everything that is happening in front of your eyes in this game, there is a real life person and real life tactics that are helping drive this gameplay forward. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes you can be in a squad where no one is talking, the person who made the squad left the squad and joined back in as a rifleman because he didn't want to be the officer, and then you're left running around with no outpost, nowhere to spawn, and everyone's running around like a headless chicken. And in games like this, it can be very frustrating. However, these are far and few between because the community knows that what makes Hell Let Loose the game that it is that feeling of communication and getting through and getting on with your squad. And this is why you seriously need to be playing Hell Let Loose.